Tonight, Good Rockin' celebrates its 300th show with appearances from these guests from the last 5 years. Now check out this red-hot list.
That's Good Rockin' tonight. That's Good Rockin' tonight. Say hello. That's Good Rockin' tonight. Hello. That's Good Rockin' tonight.
Also, the Michael Jackson Moonwalker cassette winners and even a chance to win Springsteen's video anthology, all on show number 300 of Good Rockin' Tonight.
Hey, all you party animals, this is Mick Mars,
Six.
Vince Neil,
And Tommy Lee.
of Motley Crue. Welcome to Good Rockin' Tonight.
I'm Stu Jeffries with a look back at 5 years on the air. Now, obviously, time doesn't allow us to show you all our guests, but we have about 30 that we know you'll enjoy, as well as the year's best video clips. Little history for you. Good Rockin' began as a local Vancouver show October 7th, 1983, with host Terry David Mulligan. I was working radio in Regina at the time, didn't come on board till about 2 years later. For the record, Eddie Grant was Terry's first guest, and Billy Joel's Tell Her About It, the first video. Now, the year wound up with what would become an annual event. I'm talking about, of course, the Teddy Awards, our choice of the year's best videos. Now, you just saw Beat It, which was 83's overall's best video. Bryan Adams took Best Canadian. Loverboy, the Canadian group. Other winners included Bowie, The Police, Bonnie Tyler, Donna Summer. Now, these are some more highlights of 83 and 4. Enjoy.
I'm worried about the sort of effect of radio on music, because now, with the radio being so factionalized, and there sort of being heavy metal here and R&B here and pop music here, I think a lot of the bands are spending most of their time marketing themselves for a certain format, as opposed to just writing songs and playing. And I think that's kind of a shame, because I was weaned on a radio that played you know, Otis Redding, and then Moby Grape, and then the Beatles, and then sort of one right after another. And I think that's very healthy. So I'm hoping that the video revolution, et cetera, will create more diversity in sort of the music career.
I want to sing rock and roll because that is what I really like and love. Even during the time when I was producing me in the earlier days, I wanted to do that. That's my energy, it's my heart, it's my love. I feel and love R&B to listen to now still, but never did I really love, I loved blues more than, say, rhythm and blues. Yeah. So now you can.
Heard Trevor play, he sings with his guitar, which is beautiful to hear. And so I was kind of converted back to what a guitar can do. And so when I heard that track and started singing it, and we kind of got the lyrics together, and the chorus was always there, all living all the heart. It was something that Trevor had written. And when I started singing these little bits here and there, I came into the studio as Trevor Horn was mixing it, and I said, if that is not a hit record, I don't know what is. And I'm never that sure what is a good hit record. But that, when he was mixing it, it was very loud in the studio, obviously. And then the solo came in, and I said, this is a hit record, man, you know, it's really good.
Actually, there's still a huge, massive legacy left from heavy metal, which still, you know, it's just I don't like heavy metal much, that's all, you know. I like heavy music, but not, I don't know. It just depends what it's about. I don't like songs about wizards and kings, and I like things about real things, you know. And soul music that speaks to you. So, yeah, you know, there's a lot of things to fight against. They might be more invisible, but weren't they always invisible? I thought they were, really. It was a nice thing to make a joke about Led Zeppelin, but that wasn't really what we were doing punk rock for. We were doing punk rock because that's what we needed, really. I like punk rock. I did it for me. Yeah.
What do we know about Canada? Who's our Prime Minister? Do we know?
Trudeau.
Yes.
Yes.
What's our national game?
The national game, ice hockey.
Right.
Hunting mounties. Hey, let's go on a monkey hunt.
Is this
You say right, E?
That's right, we say that. Yes,
Say
we do.
squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Oh, do you call it squirrel?
You said squirrel.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel.
There's no W.
Squirrel.
in it.
Squirrel. 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 I've never met a
What do you call the
squirrel.
the back end of a car where you open up and put
boot?
No, it's a trunk.
Rubbish. No.
What do you call what you're sitting on? What is this that you're sitting on?
What do you call the front end?
The hood.
It's a bonnet. Hey.
What's this that you're sitting on?
What
This is a what?
Spelled silk.
No, it's a Chesterfield.
Oh, wow. A Chesterfield. I've got one. They call it Chesterfield, don't they?
Right.
How do you spell silk? Spell silk.
S-I-L-K.
What do cows drink?
Milk.
Rubbish. Cows drink water.
with celebrations continue next with a look at 1985. Don't go away. 1984, a year that saw some changes, including Good Rockin' becoming a national show. In early '85, CBC's Battle of the Band series called Rock Wars became a part of the show, and October 18th, I became host, thanks to some subtle coaxing. Okay, so maybe I don't have George Michael's looks. I'll get an earring, I promise. The letters to Good Rockin' Tonight are the most important of all. Would certainly love to hear from you, and would certainly love to be back hosting Good Rockin' Tonight for a long time. It's either that or it's sweeping the floors. The mere thought of it breaks me up.
Somehow you've got to get out and play live in front of an audience. Don't fool yourself and think that you can contrive an image behind a video and behind a recording studio. You have to get out and play in front of people. That is still the greatest part of rock and roll. It's when you're looking right down the barrel of someone else's eyes and trying to communicate, hopefully, an original song to those people. That is the greatest experience that you can have in rock and roll.
To me, this is Canada. This is not just singers getting together. I wanted to expand it and show just the whole country banding together for this worthwhile cause, you know. And so we went and get the hockey players, and they were very cooperative. And I was going, oh no, if these guys can't sing this thing, I'm dead. Everybody's gonna kill me, right? We've been bragging about the fact that it's a real easy melody to sing. Well, man, we have video of Mike Bossy with his veins popping. He's like singing so hard. Yeah. And he later confided that he says, you know, I really want to be a singer. It was fantastic, man. These guys were singing their balls off. Can you say that?
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Saved his soul from internal damnation.
I dragged Roland down to my depths.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. No, I kind of, well, Kurt used to steal violins from his school, and to justify his act, I learned to play them.
Yeah. So that's how we got on really well, basically. Roland was the fence. He used to sell them.
Featured a series of guest hosts, including Loverboy, David Foster, Bryan Adams, his manager Bruce Allen, and of course, Platinum Blonde.
Oh, thank you. Have a kiss. Thank you. Have a kiss.
There we go.
Thank you.
At an autograph session, you don't really get the contact because it's like there's so many kids that you have to sort of like move along. And you really don't have time to actually talk with them after the drag. It would be nice to spend more time with the fans and our supporters, is what we like to call them. But unfortunately you can't because there's just so many and you have to just do what you can at a time.
Have a kiss, have a kiss. Kenny is the best.
It's hard for any parents to really accept rock and roll music because, especially for my father, who was a very big opera fan. So, you know, it's a different type of music, it's a different type of life. And, you know, I mean, rock and roll has always been associated with things that are sort of the detriment of adolescence. And where in actual fact, I mean, rock and roll music is really the only escape that young people really have. From authority, it's their own thing. Music for me was always my own thing. I could do what I wanted with it, and I could be what I wanted because it was mine. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, which was just fun.
In '85, Good Rockin's choice of Best Group went to Wham! Best Female, Madonna. Best Male, David Lee Roth. Best Canadian Video was Gowan's A Criminal Mind. And the year's overall Best Video went to a real good one, Aha.
Your audience, very young, but predominantly female. How do you react?
I think it depends. That's partly your fault as a program. I think you have a certain audience too, and the response you get. No, but you're talking about. I mean, I'm not talking about fault in a funny, you know, sense. Some programs where we get response from other types of people. I've had grandmothers, which is probably the same thing as.
Still girls.
Yes.
we just go for what we like. I mean, we always have that, and we like pretty diverse type of music. So, you know, I think the more product we release, the broader our audience will be. You know, I definitely don't want to lose the young girls or the grandmothers.
At first, my age was probably a minus because there hadn't been like teen acts out in a while, and the ones that were out were just kind of idols, and they had nothing to back You know, they had nothing. They had like no talent to back up the hype, and they disappeared very quickly. You know, that happened a lot in the 50s and in the 70s. So a lot of people were really afraid to take a chance on a young person, and especially because I said, you know, I want to hold out until I can record the songs that I wrote, and that, you know, so that was kind of hard to get by. And then, you know, once I got out there and people found out how old I was, then it turned into like a whole kind of, you know, hype thing. And, you know, I don't really think it makes a difference one way or another how old a person is, so.
Welcome back to Good Rockin'. Let's take tea with the big O. Here's an Ozzy you might not recognize. You know, most Ozzy fans know all about the man. Former lead singer for Black Sabbath, successful solo career, bat biter, you know, part-time vampire, born-again father. And you're talking about his new daughter. I asked him if changing a diaper was a humbling experience. Ozzy said, I'd rather bite the head off a bat than change a diaper.
You created this bit of a monster called Ozzy Osbourne, and sometimes you don't want to be Ozzy, you want to be you.
Yeah, it's like, there's like two of me. It's like John, as I'm sitting here now, John, but there's Ozzy, who's the crazy prankster who seems to get caught doing the most bizarre things at the most bizarre times of the day, you know.
Do people want you to perform as Ozzy in public?
It's really weird. For a period of time when I was touring the US last year, or the year before last, people were reporting that I was doing these bizarre things, and what I weren't doing, and I thought, well, what did I actually...
Like what?
Like, for instance, like blowing the legs of puppies and sawing Dobermans and blowing sheep up and all this, you know. I mean, and they weren't kids. They were like police officers or hall managers, and I couldn't believe it, you know. I mean, but they phone ahead to the next show, and it was virtually getting to the point that I would get to the next town, and I'd stop the bus and say, hey, what did I do last night, you know? Ask people on the street, you know.
You know, you spend years... How long have you been doing this now?
15 years.
You spent 15 years working on it. You write, you perform, you groom yourself, you try to keep the best record you can possibly have. You bite the head off of one stupid bat. One bat, everybody comes at you.
I get it, you know, gotta do something to pass the time away.
You having fun? Rock and roll's supposed to be fun.
It is, but to have that much fun, it's a lot of hard work to achieve that much, to get that much fun. I love it. I mean, I love to see the kids having a good time. That's what I forget all this junk that follows me around. All I want to do is get up there and rock around and turn those kids on. There's a very big sensitive part of Ozzy Osbourne which people fail to never really sort of see through. I'm very aware. I mean, I don't know whether it's since I've become a parent of myself or whatever, but I'm very aware. I'm very afraid of what's going on in this world at the moment.
You're aware of time now?
No, not so much of time. I'm aware of every day is sacred. Every day is worth living to the full, you know. It's just that I think, well, I've had a great life. I'm going to go, hopefully grow old and die. What's going to be left for my kids but a big, glowing, nuclear, radioactive ball of whatever it is in the sky, you know? And it's got to stop, you know.
You know what I'm trying to say? This is the real him. This is John the good guy.